Have you ever wondered if giant freshwater fish still exist in today's world? Many people believe rivers have already been overfished, leaving only small catches behind. But deep in the upper reaches of Vietnam's Da River, local fishermen still tell stories about enormous fish hiding beneath the dark water. Some say they've seen black carp heavier than a grown man. Others speak of giant catfish that can tear through fishing nets in seconds. Today, we're following experienced fishermen into one of Vietnam's most legendary rivers to discover whether these stories are real. And before this journey is over, what comes out of the water will surprise even the people who have spent their entire lives fishing here. Long before sunrise, the mountains surrounding the Da River are still covered in mist. The air is cool, the river is calm, and the only sounds come from birds waking up along the shoreline. This peaceful scene hides an incredibly powerful river beneath the surface. The Da River begins high in the mountains and flows through deep valleys before joining Vietnam's larger river systems. For generations, this river has fed countless villages, providing fish that have supported local families for hundreds of years. Even today, many fishermen continue using traditional methods passed down from father to son. Every fishing trip begins with careful preparation. Nets are spread across the ground and inspected for even the smallest damage. A tiny hole may seem harmless, but when a giant fish starts fighting inside the net, that small opening can become large enough for the catch to escape. Ropes are checked one final time, floats are adjusted, and every member of the team knows exactly what their role will be once the net enters the water. Experience matters here. One mistake could cost hours of hard work. As the boat slowly moves away from shore, the fishermen carefully release the net into the current. Meter after meter disappears beneath the surface until only the floating markers remain visible. Everything suddenly becomes quiet. Now comes the waiting. This is often the hardest part of traditional fishing because nobody knows what is happening below the surface. The fish may already be swimming into the net, or they may be passing hundreds of meters away. Nature never gives guarantees. Minutes pass with almost no movement. The river remains calm. Then one fisherman notices something unusual. One section of the floating line begins moving against the current. At first, it seems small enough to ignore, but within seconds, the rope grows noticeably heavier. Everyone immediately grabs hold. Whatever is inside the net is much stronger than anyone expected. The team pulls together, but the net barely moves. Water begins swirling across the surface as something large struggles below. The tension on the ropes increases with every second. Nobody says much because everyone is focused on the same question. Is this simply a snag on underwater rocks, or is there really a giant fish trapped inside? Then the answer explodes from the water. A massive silver body crashes across the surface, sending water in every direction. The fish twists with incredible power, forcing everyone to pull even harder. This is exactly why traditional fishermen never work alone. Landing fish of this size requires strength, coordination, and perfect timing. One wrong movement could allow the fish to break free after all this effort. As more of the net reaches the boat, another surprise appears. It isn't just one fish. Several giant freshwater fish are trapped together, each fighting with astonishing energy. Their powerful tails slam against the water while the fishermen work carefully to prevent the net from tearing. Moments like this are extremely rare, even for people who fish these waters every week. Among today's catch is one of Vietnam's most respected freshwater species, the black carp, known locally as Ca Tremim Ton. This fish is famous for its incredible strength and can grow to impressive sizes after spending many years in deep rivers. Black carp feed differently from many other freshwater fish, making them much harder to catch using ordinary methods. Seeing one this large is already an unforgettable experience. Nearby, enormous silver carp continue thrashing inside the net. Their bodies reflect sunlight as they struggle against the ropes. Although many people around the world know silver carp, few have ever seen individuals this large. Growing to this size requires clean water, abundant food, and years without being caught. These fish are living proof that parts of the Da River ecosystem remain remarkably healthy. Then another familiar shape appears beneath the surface. The fishermen immediately recognize it. It's a giant ca lodge, one of Vietnam's prized river catfish. These fish spend much of their lives in deep channels, where strong currents make them difficult to catch. Their muscular bodies allow them to fight with tremendous force, and many fishermen consider them one of the greatest challenges in freshwater fishing. With every fish safely brought aboard, excitement spreads through the entire team. Smiles replace the serious expressions from earlier. Hours of patience have finally paid off. Looking across the boat, it's difficult not to be amazed by the size and variety of today's catch. Each fish represents years of growth inside one of Vietnam's most beautiful rivers. But experienced fishermen understand something important. Rivers like the Dak cannot provide giant fish forever unless they are respected. Traditional fishing is not simply about catching as much as possible. It is also about understanding the seasons, protecting breeding periods, and preserving the river so future generations can continue this way of life. Without healthy rivers, catches like today's could eventually disappear. As the boat heads back toward shore, the surrounding mountains once again reflect across the calm water. The same river that looked so peaceful only a few hours ago has revealed another side of itself. Hidden beneath the surface lives an underwater world that most people will never see. Giant black carp, enormous silver carp, and powerful catfish continue surviving here because nature still has places where life follows its own rhythm. Watching these fishermen reminds us that some traditions remain unchanged despite the modern world. Their knowledge does not come from books or technology. It comes from decades spent reading the river, understanding the currents, and respecting every challenge nature presents. Every successful catch tells a story of patience, teamwork, and experience that cannot be learned overnight. Today's adventure has shown us that giant freshwater fish still exist in Vietnam, but finding them requires much more than luck. It requires knowledge passed down through generations, hard physical work, and deep respect for one of Southeast Asia's greatest rivers. The Da River continues to surprise those willing to explore it, proving that nature still holds incredible secrets beneath its surface. If you enjoyed joining us on this unforgettable fishing adventure, make sure to subscribe because our next journey will take us even deeper into the hidden world of traditional life in Vietnam.